Power Rankings, the best teams in Europe, Week 10. With another week of club football in the history books, we welcome the final international break of the year. And on behalf of absolutely everybody, we say thank Christ for that. But before the international fun fully takes hold, it's once again time to dissect the performances of the best teams in Europe, some of the heavy hitters again suffering what you'd call less than favorable results. So without further ado, time to tuck into the latest installment of the 10 best teams in Europe's Power Rankings list. Number 10. Chelsea. Whisper it quietly, Chelsea are getting better with every passing week. Sure, they still have plenty of things to iron out, but Enzo Maresca is chipping away at some of the problems that have plagued the Blues over the past couple of years. Their only 2 Premier League defeats of the season have come against Manchester City and Liverpool, and their point against Arsenal, who continue to falter, was thoroughly deserved. Number 9. Manchester City. What on earth is going on at Manchester City? For defeats in a row across all competitions means Pep Guardiola is officially on the worst losing streak of his illustrious managerial career, a rot that has seen perennial rivals Liverpool seize the initiative at the top of the Premier League. It won't go on for too long, you wouldn't think, but you can be sure that rival supporters are watching it and drinking it in. Number 8. Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich have had things their own way for longer than most people have been alive, but that pendulum took an unexpected swing last season when Bayer Leverkusen dethroned them to scoop the Bundesliga crown. That facilitated change in Munich, ushering in a new era under the very shouty Vincent Kompany. Defeats to Aston Villa and Barcelona, the latter a thumping defeat, showed there's work to do in Bavaria, but things are getting better by the week. Indeed, Bayern are now 5 points clear at the top of the Bundesliga, have kept 5 consecutive clean sheets and Harry Kane is again averaging more than a goal per game. Number 7. SSC Napoli. Scott McTominay popped up with some big goals during his 7-year stint as a Manchester United first-team player, which was no doubt a factor in Napoli's decision to part way with over £25 million to sign him. The Scots' nose for poaching goals was on display against Inter, popping up in the 6-yard area to hand the 2022-23 Serie A winners the lead. They couldn't hold on, but a well-earned point undoubtedly suited manager Antonio Conte. Number 6. Inter. When you're coming up against a side managed by Antonio Conte, you can guarantee a game full of stodge. So it was no surprise that Inter, who rarely have the firepower to blow teams away, struggle to get the upper hand of their clash in the fashion capital of the world. In fact, Hakan Çalhanoğlu's equalizing goal came courtesy of a wonder strike from outside of the penalty area, half an hour before he clanked a match-winning penalty against the foot of Alex Mérez's post. Number 5. Real Madrid. Real Madrid's convincing 4-0 win over Osasuna was a full of thrills, spills, injuries and, well, goals. Vinicius Jr., unsurprisingly, was the hero of the hour, bagging a terrific hat-trick that also inspired Jude Bellingham to break his goal-scoring duck. The bad news for the 15-time Champions League winners was that Eder Militao, Rodrigo, and Lucas Vázquez all picked up injuries of varying severity. Militao's injury is a particularly severe blow as he'll miss the remainder of the season with a torn ACL. Number 4. Atalanta. The beneficiaries of Inter and Napoli's squabble at San Siro was undoubtedly Atalanta, who now sit just 1 point off the top of Serie A. John Piero Gasparini's side have won 8 of their last 9 games in all competitions, including their last 5 Serie A matches, and were too good in the decisive moments against a spirited Udinese. The Europa League holders are certainly ones to watch. Number 3. Barcelona. Barcelona's start to life under Hansi Flick has been nothing short of sensational, but this past weekend saw the Catalan giants hit an unexpected road bump. Real Sociedad have always been a tricky proposition, and that proved to be the case once more as Barca failed to show the cutting edge that has seen Robert Lewandowski, Lamine Yamal and Rafinha terrorize defenses. The defeat was all the more painful because of the perceived injustice of Lewandowski's disallowed goal. Number 2. Sporting CP. With Ruben Amorim now at Manchester United, it feels appropriate to recognise just how sensational Sporting CP have been this season under his tenure. The 4-2 comeback win over Braga, having been 2-0 down at the half-time interval, ensured he left with a 2024-25 record of Number 1. Liverpool. Liverpool return to the top of the best teams in Europe power rankings tree after continuing their superb start to the Premier League. Aston Villa have grown into a terrific outfit under Unai Emery, but at Anfield they were second best against an efficient, polished Liverpool, who now sit 5 points clear of Manchester City at the top of the table.